Welcome back, everybody, to Deadtime Stories. In time for Halloween, looking at the forgotten 90s kids horror series, much like Goosebumps. Moving on to numbers 5 and 6.
So number 5 is an awesome one. This is Revenge of the Goblins. Goblins everywhere. It's all Sammy's fault. If only he and Nina hadn't been out in the woods after dark. If only they hadn't seen that creepy old tree with the strange little door. If only they hadn't gone inside. If only they hadn't touched the glowing, humming orb. And if only they hadn't taken it home. But now it's too late, because Nina and Sammy have opened the gates to Goblin World, and there's no way to stop the monster madness that's about to begin. Dun dun dun!
So this was interesting with the find the goblin statue in the woods and the orb they find stops time, but it only stops time for humans, and goblin kind then is able to roam free. And it starts off, I think, with the being chased through the woods thing is kind of creepy, like kids will find it very fun, entertaining, very little spooky. And then I like the middle portion because I love Gremlins. And the middle portion is Gremlins 2. It's the middle portion in the mall when they were crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's Gremlins 2. Was the new batch. Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the middle portion. So if you like that movie, you'll like the middle portion.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's basically 3 distinct parts, because then the third part is the underground Goblin City. And that is really cool because it's fairly creative, and you actually get a little bit more characterization with the goblins and an idea of like their culture and history. It's not just mindless like monsters.
Well, and the different types of goblins.
Yeah.
And I think that was really very creatively done.
So this is the complete polar opposite. If you watch the last video, the last 2 that we did, this one has a lot more creativity in it, and is definitely, as a kid, as someone who's like in elementary school, would hold your interest far more. Definitely one I would recommend this one if you have an elementary school age kid to check out.
This was good.
Like it was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
This was really fun. I just feel really bad for the bully, Tony
Oh,
Caputo.
yeah.
I love Tony Caputo. That poor kid. They do so many horrible things to him. I love that about this series.
With the time stop, the kids act like kids.
Yeah,
They do it like a kid would do at that age.
That's the thing about the series. We've talked about this. Like, these ladies that wrote this, they understand kids, and they write about it as if they are kids, as opposed to R.L. Stine, which is kind of a little bit further back.
What's more of it feels more like an adult writing a kid versus like because kids, because especially at this age where things are not completely fully developed, the reasoning center of the brain isn't finished, there are certain things that a kid would do or how they would
process
what their version of logic would be in that situation, which these do a better job of processing things the way a kid would process them at that age.
Well, and just the relationships and how they speak to each other, and I really think these ladies nail it.
Yeah, which is very important, because if you're reading these books, you are like 8 to 13, like somewhere in that age group, and it's about kids who are in the like 8 to 13 age group, so you want them to think the way you think as an 8 to 13-year-old age kid.
And just very believable, and I love this one. I think it was
I ended up giving that one an 8 out of 10. What'd you give this one?
I gave this an 8.5 out of 10.
So both we're very consistent, which is weird, because we did these separately. We're very, very consistent.
Yes.
Next one, we have
Number
Little
6.
Magic Shop of Horrors.
Off with his head. Peter Newman wants a 10-speed bike. That's the grand prize for his school's talent competition. This is a nice school. I didn't go to that school.
Yeah.
And Peter's pretty sure he can win it. All he needs is a talent. And luckily, he finds one in a strange little magic shop. This is going to show its age. For only $9.95, Peter buys a magic kit and becomes Peter the Great. Now he can do tricks even Houdini couldn't perform. The only problem is Peter can't undo the tricks, but that doesn't bother him too much, not until he wins the talent show by taking off his best friend's head.
This was fun. Again, this is the kind of thing that a kid of that age, like a lot of kids, would toy around with, like a cheap magic kit, or like the idea would be fascinating or fun. And,
much better than the dummy
and
thing.
And it goes wrong. Yeah, kids wouldn't be, I really want to be a ventriloquist, but but this makes more sense. I like the way the magic is portrayed. I like the janitor, again, for the kid's perspective. He seems like this creepy, mysterious old man who throw us in the furnace.
He's probably like 35 years old.
Yeah, and actually, he's like a real nice guy. Helps about that kind of stuff. I think my favorite part of the whole thing, though, was it his grandmother with the cat
Oh yeah.
who turned into an actual tiger,
Yes.
and that was really funny. And then
the grandma is awesome.
the grandmother ends up on her favorite game show, and like, there's a lot of
Grandma
real
Gressler.
funny things. Yes.
Grandma Gressler is awesome. I love her.
She was good.
She was really good.
In comparing these two, because we're talking about them together, I think this is, as a kid, this would be more spooky. This is more funny.
Yes, this was very funny.
Yeah.
They brought swords to school.
Yeah, they
This
did some
shows
things
its
that
age,
like you
so,
could not be doing this stuff. Yeah.
But
But it was, it was
really,
interesting. Yeah.
Really decent, decent one, and very unique again, which was awesome.
Yeah, I think I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
Oh, I gave it an 8.
See, the thing with the why I gave it one lower than this one, I think, is because.
It came right after it.
Well, no, I think because like what I said, like it is one of the funnier ones, and it's a positive. But at the same time, thinking from like as a kid, getting these because like I got these as a kid, I was reading them through this classic magazine or whatever. I'm looking for a little more spooky, and like this was a little bit less of that, and I think that's why I rated it a little bit lower. I think this is a little more. I don't know. I feel I want to say there's a little more depth to some of the stuff in this.
Like these are monsters, whereas this, the evil isn't like they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like invertedly,
it's
but
ramifications
they are doing
for thinking
what
about acting. It's careful what you wish for type things. Like learning about consequences, the important kind of kid message type stuff. So it's done well. I just think between the two, I think the writing's a little bit stronger.
Absolutely,
in that one.
that one.
So
very
good.
well done.
But overall, again, the first two so far in the series good. Next two a little bit down. We're back up to being more higher quality, and that continues on. So make sure you come back and check out as we do the rest of the series. We're going to keep doing these for a while.
Next one's the best.
And then we at the very end are going to be doing our individual rankings
and
see how that is. And that'll be. I think there will differ a little more because we've been like oddly consistent. We've been really close in our scores.
Strange.
I think we've been, and I think that really goes to the consistency of the writing in the series because we were more off with Goosebumps. We differed more in what we were rating. Sometimes I give something a 7, you give it a 5, or I give something like I think we disagreed more with the Goosebumps videos than we're going to with this.
Yes, definitely.
So, but we'll see how it goes with the rest of the series. We're not even a third of the way through, so we will keep going. Make sure you check back.